Hello, welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you've come across my video, you're welcome. Today we'll be learning how to make a camp collar shirt. If it's something you would love to learn, please keep watching. Use our handle to reach us when you try this video out. Don't forget to like, comment and share. Hello, you're welcome. Today we'll be learning how to make a vintage shirt. These are the fabrics I'm using because I'm cutting in large, which is why I am making a paper pattern. If it was just a single shirt, I would have just marked directly on the fabric. So I have two measurement size I'm using. This is large and this is medium, but I'm going to be working on this. So let's get right into the tutorial. Explain the lines I have marked out before. I started the video before, but something went wrong, so I had to stop. So for a start, this is my starting point. I did 0.5, which is a base for it, 0.5. So I have a fold here. So this fold is 5-inch fold. So if you're cutting directly on your fabric, you're going to do 5-inch fold. So from this fold, I marked out 0.5. This is going to serve as my button allowance. This place will be my where I'll put my button allowance. Okay, that's this place. Okay, so now let's begin. I have marked out. I will now come down from this place. I'm going to go down by 4-inch. Okay, see, you go down by 4. Okay, you connect it back to the tip of this place. Okay, so now what you will be wondering, what measurement do I have here, right? Okay, the measurement I have from here to here, this is my body measurement. Okay, the highest body here is the chest line. Okay, the chest line is the highest body. So now I am going to divide this by 4. Divide by 4, whatever you have, that is what I have here. Okay, so I've divided 42 by 4 will give me 10.5. So let me take this tape this way so you understand it. 10.5. okay, this is my 10.5 and 1.5 allowance. Okay, so now I have marked my allowance. You saw that my measurement started from here. Okay, from this line. Okay, so now to get the length of my dress for the shirt, I am going to divide this into 2 from here to here. This is my middle point. Okay, divide into 2. So this is another one. From this point now, I am going to go down. The length I am working with is 39. Okay, the length is 39. So now for me to get 39, I'm going to place my measurement here, not here. From here, from this slant that I made, then I have gotten my 39 inches. You can see. So this is the length. Okay, 39 inches. So now I'm going to cut this out, but before I do that, let me take you back on what I did again. I folded this place. I marked out 5-inch here and I folded it. So if you're working directly on your fabric, you should fold your fabric and your folding should be 5-inch, right? Okay, so I did that. Here is a starter point, just my baseline for a guide. Okay, I marked my body measurement plus 1.5 sewing allowance. I used the highest point of the body, which is the chest, because this is for commercial sales. So I'm using the big size. I don't know how to explain it better, but that is what I am doing. So I use the chest line, which is 45, for the body measurement to the end. So I came here, I divided here into 2, and from this point I measured my full body length. So now that we have done that, and I indicated that this place is my zipper allowance, so my measurement is starting from here. So if you check now, what I have here is actually 4.5, okay, which is perfect. So now I'm going to cut this out. This is my front bodies, okay. So this is the paper for the back, right? So from this baseline I measured 4 inches. This is 4 inches, okay. This represents the 4 inch that was taken away from this part, okay. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place my paper starting from this. You could cut it together, but I just want for clarity purpose, starting from this, right? So I'm going to secure, okay. So I've gone ahead to secure my work with a tape. Now I will now cut this place out. So now that I'm done with this, I'm going to pull this up again. I'm going to pull it up and join it to this point, maintaining the line, remember, right? Maintaining the line. So I'm just going to secure here like so. Secure here. So this is it. The lines here, remember, starting from 0.5. Okay. So now that we've done this part, I am going to fold this. To meet this part, as seen, like so. If you are working directly with your fabric, at this point you will need to iron before you proceed, but since I'm working with the paper, this is what I have. So now I am going to take my shoulder measurement. Mind you, my measurement is starting from this line, okay. So I'm going to take my shoulder measurement is 19. So I'm going to divide 19 into 2. What I have is 9.5. So I'm going to place it from this point. Hope you can see what I'm doing. From this point. I'm going to mark that car. To get my armhole depth, this is supposed to be what I am using, 9.5, right? So I'm going to minus 1.5 from it, which will now give me 8. This is 0.5, 0.5, 1.5, so I will result to 8. Okay. which will now give me 8. So this is my chest line. Mark my 9.5 because we need our measurement to be accurate, like so that we'll have a straight line. So now I'm going to just connect the lines together. So we have our neck. So the neckline I'm working with is 16.5. So how do we get our neckline? I am going to divide 16.5 by 4. 16.5 divide it again, 16.5. Then I have 4. Okay, I have 4.1. So this is my 4.1. So how do I get my round to curve it here? I'm simply going to divide this again by 2. So now I have 2.1. So I'm going to come on the line again and I'll add my 2.1. So my cutting is going to come like this, back to the side, if that makes sense. Okay, so and that is all. So for here I am going to come up from here by 3, from the chest line by 3. I went up by 3, then I'm going to come in by 1. So I'm going to connect from here. Good one. So let's cross check what we have. I said my armhole, it's supposed to be 9, right? We worked with armhole 9.5. I minus 1.5 from it, then we ended up with 8, right? So that means my armhole is supposed to be 19, right? So let's see if we have 19. You see, remember this is where the main body allowance stops. Okay, this is the main body allowance. So if you measure it, I have more than enough. Okay, see, I have my 9.5. So my measurement is correct. So now I'm just going to cut this out. You will lift your front pattern up. Please, I have to pin down because my pattern is moving. Okay, let's cut off from here. I have my pattern now, so I'm going to trace it on a fabric and I'll cut out. So now let's cut our shoulder. So our pattern is ready. I'll just transfer to fabric. For this, I didn't like, it was how I placed my scissors when I was cutting. So it didn't curve very well, but when I'm cutting directly on the fabric, I'm going to make the necessary adjustment. It's just the paper didn't, like when I was cutting it, it didn't curve as it ought to curve. Okay, but that aside, now we want to cut out the lapping for the back. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be too long. Middle of your armhole is okay. Okay, like from here to here, like 7 inches is okay for it. Okay, so you see, 7 inches is perfect for it. So you just have to cut that out. See, it was supposed to be curved, not 4 corner. Okay, so it was the way I cut it. I'm going to adjust that when I am sewing. This is the back facing, okay? The facing for the back, okay? Because this is more straight, this line is more straight, okay? So the length of the sleeve is, the length I'm to work with is 9.5. Okay. Or you can use 9. Okay, I'm going to connect it. Then my folding allowance is 2. This is exactly 2. Okay, this is my folding allowance. So you know that this thing I work with was 9, right? So I'm just going to put the 9.5 here, extra 1 inch for sewing allowance. So my round sleeve is 13 and 14, right? It's 14. You divide it by 2. It will give me 7 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. Okay, so I'm going to fold this upwards. So I'm going to connect to this point. I'll seam like so. Okay. So for here, I'm going to go down by 4.5. I'm just going to connect like so. I don't basically do much of curving. So this is what we have. Okay. I don't, if I'm making men's clothes, I don't really curve like a woman's. Sometimes prefer it slanted. So I'm just going to see what I did, not too curvy. So this is what we have. So I have cut out my This is the back, facing for the back. This is the sleeve. If you notice, for my sleeve I added 1 inch. Why? Because when I used the pattern to check the round sleeve, I saw that it didn't cover it up more. So when I was cutting, I added more, so that if there is excess, I can easily trim off. Okay, so what I did there, remember I said my measurement was 9, my armhole was 9, so I did 9 and added 1 inch allowance. But remember, in my cutting, in my pattern, I did an extension of 1.5. okay, I did 1.5, so that was what I was supposed to put, so I didn't complete it. So that was why I believe I had shortage here, but I've tried to fix it. So when I'm sewing, I'm going to try the pattern first on this, then by the end of the outcome, that is when I will determine if I'm going to proceed with the pattern for the rest of the production I'm doing. If not, if there's an error, I will correct it, then cut for those ones. So let's get into it. So I have this is the front panel. As you can see, this is the front. So you can see that I notched where the end of this place, you have to notch it. So I notched it here, and the down part as well, I notched it. So I have used this wording for it, so, and I've ironed this. So what I'm going to do is to just take it this way and make sure to iron. I did the same on the other side, so I'm just going to go through the process of ironing. So you can see I've done this part. I'll repeat the other side. Let's work on the sleeve instead. So now, if you take a look, I notched this place, which is the fold we have. You know what we have here is 9, so this is the fold. Okay, so I notched it, so this will give me a guideline where I have to stop. So I have, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold like so and iron. My hemming gum. So I'm going to take it in like so. Then fold again. So this is the back. To make this part you also need your hemming gum. Hemming gum is the secret to men's clothes finishing. So I have ironed here, you can see 0.5, so that it stays flat, and I've arranged it. So now there are two ways you can do this. There are two ways you can do this. You can decide to you make sure here aligns properly as well. See? So you can decide to flip like this, and sew here. When you are done, you flip it back up, you iron. Okay, you can decide to just press like this and match on it. So it's totally up to you, but if you don't want the same line to show, just flip it back like this. Flip it like this. Flip it, then you flip open, you sew your stitch. When you're done sewing, you take it back, you iron. For me, I find this method helpful This is easy and faster for me. There's no point going through that route. So I'm doing it this way. I'm going to do it this way. So I'll just iron. So when you flip it this way, if there's any excess, you trim off before you sew. Now you're going to place the front on the back like so. So when you're done with it, you're going to align this with this, okay? Then move the side, fix it like this, okay? Then you stitch. Notice I opened here, so there's a reason for it. Take it to the machine and you sew. But if you don't want to go through the stress, you can just sew straight, okay? So yeah, I'm done, and I'm just going to flip it open, turn it to the right side, and you see how neat it is. I have sewn the shoulder. So what you're going to do next is this front part. You're going to fold from this edge. You're going to measure 1.5. Let me place it on the floor. So you see, you're going to measure 1.5 here. From this point, you're going to come down by 0.5. Okay. So I'm going to mark 0.5 like so, 1.5 like so. So all you need to do is you're going to notch here, to meet your 1.5, your 0.5, sorry. Okay, so you will sew from here to this point and stop. We'll repeat same process here. So for you to get the round measurement, I want to point out that this place I went in by 2 because I remember that 0.5 was my button allowance. 0.5 was my button allowance, right? So the lapel was, my measurement started from here, so I have to add 1.5 to it, start making it 2. So what I did here was 2. So what I have here is 2. Okay, so that's the correction that I made. I didn't show. So now I feel this is too big because the neckline I'm supposed to work with is 17. But if I mark like this, I have my measurement accurate. I have my 16.5 accurate. 17 is still okay, but if I do like so, I'm having more than that. So I don't know what to do. I'm now a bit confused, but I'll work my way around it. So I think I want to use 17 and try. If it didn't work out, I'm just going to do 17. If it didn't work out, then I'm going to find another means to solve the problem. So we're going to mark. This is what we'll use. So I'm going to get a baseline so that we'll have a straight line to work with. So I hope you can see my. So what I have here, I have 17. Okay. Yeah, I have like 17.5. So this means I have to readjust my pattern because it didn't give me what I want. So from here, I'm just going to go up by 1 inch from this baseline. Go up by 1 inch. I'm going to connect it back to this place. Okay. from this 1 inch, I'm going to do 1.5. So I have total of 3. I'm going to mark my 3 here like so. Then I'll just connect it. I'm notching this part. This is the down part. This is the upper part. So I'll place it in my main fabric and I'll cut out. So I'll just iron. So this is what I have. I will take to the machine. I will stitch here. I'll take it down. I'll stitch from here to this point. Stitch, leaving 0.1. Okay. Just stitch like so down to this place. Stitch and trim off, and we'll come back. This is the 0.1 I sewed. I just want you to see it. So I've done that. I'm just going to flip it to the other side, then iron it, and iron the other side the way this other side is as well. Now let's fix the neckline. I'm going to unpin if your clothes are pinned, and notch the middle like so. Notch the middle. Then you open it. You take the collar and open and notch as well. The notch collar should sit in the middle of your shirt. You open the side that has the facing, the interface, that's this padding, is going to be on the upper part, not the way you saw it now, because when I was sewing I changed it. So you're going to start from, you're going to pin your facing inside, the lapping on the inside, you're going to pin it down so that you have clean finishing. Then you put your collar to meet the edge where your stitch stopped. That's 1.5 you sewed in, or 2 you sewed in, where it stopped. You're going to sew from there to the notch part in the middle part. Then start from the other edge again and sew to the middle part. But you can also use your pin to secure it and start from one side just in case. We are done. I am done sewing the collar, and this is what I have. So you notch the inside, especially where you're facing the one for the lapel stopped. So you're going to notch it both of the side like that, as you see me do, and notch all around. Then you use your iron to iron down. Then if you want your work to be easy for you, when you're done ironing down, fold your remaining allowance in, tuck it in with the iron. Then you add your hemming gum. You use the iron to secure it. Then you can take it to the machine. Then when you're sewing it, it's going to come out neat, and you will not have any issues of it bulging or not moving. Okay? So this is what I mean when I said you should tuck it in. You can see how I tucked it in like so. Then when I was done, I used hemming gum to finish it up, and I proceed to the sewing machine to sew it. Do well to like and subscribe to our channel if you find this video helpful. So this is the finished look when I was done ironing and sewing it. So that place I forgot to hem it, but I later did. I'm gonna do that. Do that before you start sewing your neckline as well. So this is, you see how neat it's looking. So now let's do the armhole. We are going to fix our sleeve now. So you have to, the sleeve edge has to meet like so, making sure it meets. Okay, then you notch the middle point. The same edge of your sleeve has to meet each other.
you notch the middle point, then you take your
fixing
sleeve that you've cut
the sleeve,
and you fix it
so now
on the armhole region.
this is what
it is
I
the
did.
armhole
You
region,
know, the
sorry, that
sewing
has to
allowance I
meet
added
each
was
other and fix
1.5.
it.
My
And
sewing
sew
allowance
around.
was 1.5, so I just make sure the edges align with each other, and I'll just mark my 1.5 and I'll sew through down. But when I got to this point, I gave a little slant, though men's body does not have a slide like that. This is just in case, just to give it a little shape, because the chest was what I used all through, just like to slide out 0.5 in it. So this is it. Then I went ahead to hem the down. So this is what we have. So you can see this is what we have. Then if you're going to fix your button is going to start from this place. You will do 3 inch. The button is starting from 4. Okay, the button will start from 4. The first buttonhole is going to be on the 4 inch. So you're going to align your button like so. Remember, it's 0.5. So what you do is you mark that your 4 from here. You mark it, you make sure it aligns, then you do it so that it will press on the other side. You do that till you get to the end. And for this place inside as well, when they've taken the light, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the hemming gun for it. I'm going to put my hemming gun inside and I will iron. Okay, I'll put it inside like so. Put it inside, then I will iron it. So this is it. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, like and share if you find this helpful. Thank you very much for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.